Mrs. Green?
Thank you. I think we should eliminate the generators. We've existed 50 years without them. I think we can exist another 50 years without them. We don't need them. And I don't think that's going to have any impact on our ability to get funds in the future for grants. The other thing we never consider, it seems to me, with the generators is that these things have a life. You know, my home generator, I hope to get 10 years out of. And I know that we have maintenance contracts for these generators as well, and if they're diesel, the diesel has to be switched out on a fairly regular basis. So, you know, these things cost more than just the acquisition price on the paper. So you know, 50 years we haven't needed them. I don't think we should have them now. And to me, that's an easy decision, because what we're looking at, if we're really at 1.8 million, is we're looking at almost a tripling of this budget in 1 year. And I mean, that's really, truly unsustainable. And I would also like to say that we have a redundant boiler in here for one of the schools, and that's for Sandown North, and it's $42,000. And then there's $370 to repoint the bricks on the gym wall. $370,000. That's Sandown's road budget. And to repoint the bricks on the gymnasium wall. So I'm wondering, have we explored other options with that wall? Have we explored just taking it down and putting something else up rather than actually repointing the bricks?
We did. We had a plan to renovate the whole high school at one point, and those walls would have been taken down at that.
I know, but since then, isn't it possible that it's an easier idea just because the brick is just the facade? So can't you remove the brick? I'm questioning. So
I know you're questioning.
What I'm doing here is I'm questioning $370,000 for the facade of one side of a building.
Mrs. Green.
I'm going to have to stop you,
Green.
Mrs. Green. This is
I'm
why.
talking all the exposed brick on the gymnasium. Next year, I'm going to hit you with the library, because we have a 50, 60-year-old building that is deteriorating. We've been putting Band-Aid repairs on it. I've been held to a small yearly renovation budget. We need to step it up.
So
And
I'm
I
going to
have
interject
no-
here. We're
I
not going
have
to keep
no-
going.
I have no doubt that it has to be repaired. It definitely has to be repaired. I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if we have to repoint the brick, if it isn't worthwhile to explore just removing the brick and putting another cladding on that building.
We're going to stop this
altogether.
now, and I'm going to tell you why. This is not the forum for asking Mr. Hughes why we're doing a project a certain way and what kind of nails we're going to buy and why didn't we look at it this way and can we use this brand of brick instead of that brand of brick. We don't even, and I'm being, I'm being a little.
Madam Chairman, that is inappropriate.
No, it's
I
not.
am-
I'm
I
going
am
to continue
questioning
speaking.
why
I am
there
going
was-
to continue speaking, Mrs. Green. I have the floor. In the Facilities Committee, we spend the time to ask, could we do it this way or could we do it that way? Why are we doing this, Mr. Hughes? Can we do that? We listen to what you have to say. We come to the conclusion of what the projects are that need to be done based on your recommendations after we've asked you and you've vetted all of it. It then comes here. I'm just stating that this is not the place where we ask why and how. This is where we're simply going to cut or not cut. So I'm just explaining what happens where and in which part of the process. It's too late now to start second guessing how and why these projects and could they be done differently. It's just not happening in a board meeting. That's Facilities Committee work. We now want to decide if we want to spend 1.8 million plus 349,000 or if we want to cut some of it. And if cutting it involves simply moving to warrant article or cutting. So if we can keep the conversation with those parameters, that would be wonderful. Mr. Collins.